Hello and welcome everyone to my little beta review video. I spent the last days just playing the closed beta of Northgard all the time. And I thought I'm now just gonna read out over the patch notes, fill out my form here, and just share my thoughts with you, what I think about the patch notes here, what changed about the game, and how I feel about it. I can just share my general thoughts about it. I think it suits Northgard quite good, the new changes. Even though I were quite of a rush player before, I think the changes did good to the game. Okay, that will little badly say it, but it were really healthy for the game. So the games tend to be quite more interesting, even though the game could get interesting before if both players go for a rush build. But you see, it's like if both players always have to go for a rush in a game, it's like you encounter like 10% of the game content and like 90% of it lays around and is not touched, if you know what I mean. And you will only play your rush builds against each other's. No one will ever have a chance with macro builds. That's what I think with a game like before. And now it gets like way more in the macro side. So macro gets better. I can't quite say if there's so much turtle play going on with the players I played right now. They weren't like turtling down, but they didn't get settled so much in there. But I'm just gonna start on and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see what we get in. Because I don't want the video get too long. So general unit modifications. When entering an area, there's now a cooldown 0.8 seconds before being able to strike a hit. This will prevent tile dancing. It does. So tile dancing doesn't work anymore. That changes really a lot of the game. Now you mostly need to go for early warriors to clear out your tiles around you, like like before tile dancing, let's say it like that. Well, tile dancing is still possible to an extent, let's say that. You can go in and, like, after the 0.8 seconds, get one hit in and get out, but I think you can imagine how that would look like. You will need a real big border to do that, so on narrow pathways that isn't possible anymore. Against Draugr, it isn't possible anymore because there are actually more types of them, but we're gonna get to that later. So this isn't possible anymore, and that changed the game a lot. So you can now see every unit in a multiple unit selection with their individual health bar. That's cool, man. That's really cool. I really enjoy that. I can like see all the health of my enemy attacking me if I just going over there, or when I just want to shortly look how much health is in my army right now that I'm going to throw in. Just a great selection, really helps with that. Just going down to casting, of course, that will help really a lot in big fights to just have a little bit more overview about that. You can just check them all before the fight begins, then see how it goes. Really nice. I think not really something cosmetic, it's really something useful, and I think that will just bring the game more far. In this group panel, you can select all the units from a special type by control click on one of the units. Okay, I didn't even try that out, but that is a cool change. Definitely gonna try that out. Like by right click in the group panel, but cool change, makes everything a little bit easier. We'll definitely try that out and try to implement it in my game. Always helpful to have a few more macro things. Yeah, just going on to the next point. When fighting, the military units now have color circles beneath them to increase fight clarity. Yeah. So I can't quite say about that. I think it helps a little bit in that term that I can see where how the fight is going. And in that terms it helped me a little bit. So not like in the mass bulk fights. If there goes like 10 warriors, not 10, like 15 warriors and 15 shield bearers, like I can't see how's just winning. And if they are getting more players involved and they get like 50 units that are just fighting right there, I can't really say how the fight is going right now. But yeah, it's just a little bit about that, how bulked the fight is and not how. If it would be more spread out, you could say more about it. But yeah, because I don't really click at my units if they're in fight, because I usually have them in control groups. Yeah, isn't too important to me to have like the total clarity about the fight, so I can click the units. That isn't really important for me. So I just want to see how the fight goes, and that's okay. So yeah. Really, so I like this change, by the way. It's okay. It's not wow, but yeah, it helps a lot, and yeah, good change. Actually, just forgot about that. I really like it that I now can, with my mouse, do a little, box on the screen, and then it will like give me the same circles around the units on the wolves or drago or whatever spawned there, and will give me a really quick way to watch how many monsters are there on that tile. So the next thing will be the redesign of the unit life bars. I really like that. I really love that. Yeah, I was always one of those players that had a little bit problems with having no real unit life bars, because yeah, sometimes I just wanna compare them to each other, not like in health, but how much damage they did take. So you can decide what one you wanna get rid of. Maybe if you wanna let them die, so you cannot heal them anymore. But always were a little struggly to find out who is now the lowest. But now you can say really great. Looks really good. How can I say it? Yeah, even for the other units, like special health bars, it looks really good too. What did I forget to say? It's like on Berserk, War Chief and Shield Maiden. You have the little star beside that. Yeah, that will help you to find them in a bulk of fight, even though you should have him control grouped to get him out. But yeah, really big change in the game too. More like cosmetic, but I think for me really important, really needed, and looks just really good, man. Looks just really good. There are now 3 different stats for each unit. Before patch, health points and resistance were combined in only one stat. Attack, health points, resistance. So yeah, I think that will help clarity. Yeah, I think that's the only reason for that change. Actually, I were okay with that before the patch, but yeah, I think it will help in clarity for other players, or maybe they want to change some things in there. You can never know. But yeah, actually one of the more clarity changes. I don't think it will change anything right there. Nope. Yeah. So let's go to the unit upgrades. So upgrading training camp, the shield bearer and extra camps now grant a boost in attack in 10% instead of defense. Yeah, that's actually useful. I never really knew why they get like a defense upgrade in there. They don't really need it, but yeah, like they could a little bit need it, but like I think a attack bonus makes a lot more sense to them than a defense upgrade, because usually if I have axe throwers, I wanna have shield bearers in the front to tank the damage. And if my axe throwers can get any damage, I'm not hoping for like, yeah, hopefully my axe throwers will have good defensive upgrades. It's like, nah, dude. Have shield bearers in front. They will die like paper if they have like 2 resistance or 4 resistance. Doesn't matter. Upgrading the watchtower will increase its health by 100, 50 before the patch, and this attack power by 100. Oh yeah, that were really a big change. So towers got a little bit, like a lot more strong. You see, like, you get double the health now. Like, yeah, double the health now if you upgrade him. And double the attack, so it makes him a 20-20 attacker. Wow, that hurts. And you won't get that down so fast anymore, so I think actually another thing that's going to slow the game down. Yeah, so I think this change is not like the biggest change in terms of we're going to slow the rush down, but I think it's definitely aimed at there. Yeah, I think it's a well-needed upgrade, because I think towers weren't too useful right now. I think now they should be worth. Now should be really worth. But I think the tower upgrade could be a little... Maybe some players will hate me for this, but I think the upgrades are a little cheap. Because the tower now gets so much more powerful with it, and now the price seems to be really good. Really good. And if the price seems so good on a defensive thing, yeah, it actually is sometimes a little bit too cheap. Yeah, the AI upgrade now upgrades its units tools. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. I don't play too much against AI, but players that do a lot, yeah, can be happy now. They will get a little bit stronger. In the tool upgrade tab, military units now have brand new abilities. You gotta know they cost the double now. It's like 10 iron for that. That's quite a lot. I don't know. I would see it more like a real late game thing, you know. Like in the games where you have phases, like you have like 30 iron. Yeah, and you just want to spend it anywhere, and you would just trade it away because you're not like the guy that lets the war chief die. Yeah, so more like a late game thing, based for the bigger fights. And I think actually the upgrades that I'm just gonna read right now will speak the same language. When upgrading the warrior, he will gain 15 attack power and charging ability. This ability will allow him to sprint towards his enemies. Yeah, that's a cool ability, to say it like that. It looks quite funny. It looks like really adoring. They run like, can't quite say how to say it. Yeah, you will see it on that. Maybe you saw it on stream or somewhere. But it looks really cool. Really good work in the animation. Yeah, when I get down to the sense, it's kind of gets a little bit awkward. So just gonna read all of them out to get to say it. When upgrading a shield bearer, he will have protection against ranged attacks doubled, and his resistance will be increased by 20%. So double protection against axe throwers. Really good. And his resistance will be increased by 20%. Will only help him because that's what he lives for. Yeah. And when upgrading the X-Throw, you will gain plus 30% in range and attack power. So, let's... a second. Yep, just turn the music back on. Sorry for that. Yeah, so... Usually, in such games, you want to have like a rock, paper, scissors thing. Even though you maybe heard that a lot, and I don't know. It seems like, yeah, I don't know if I want to say this, but it seems like they don't want a rock, paper, scissors in here. I can't quite say it, it just looks like it, because if you think about it, the X-Throw is always, if you think about it, just the strongest unit. Because you can kite and run, like hit and run. You can always hit and run, so ranged units will always be a little more dangerous than melee units. Because if a bulk of melee units runs behind a bulk of X-Throwers, they can just throw a few of X's, even though the melee units get a few attacks in. It's always like almost all of the X-Throwers get a hit in, and they just run farther, and get a hit in and run, and hit in and run. Yeah, just like it works like in many ranged units in other games. Yeah, but now actually you can like before counter the X-Throwers with shield bearers. You can now upgrade your shield bearers. They will get more resistance, and they will protect. They will have their protection against ranged attacks doubled. So they get like the killers of the X-Throwers, man. It's like, no, you won't pull like 5 X-Throwers in 2 shield bearers, I guess. That will be so hard. Like, even the resistance gets increased even more, and like the double protection gets crazy. But now it gets to the little crazy of the things, what I think about it, the charging ability. Because this seems to be, for me, just something that wants to turn down the X-Throwers hit and run theme. You know what I mean? Like, if you try to do it, the warrior is always like clicking on the X-Thrower, and the charge ability will only work like not whole in the fight. If you run away, your warrior will just as slow as he usually does. But if he attacks another unit, he will have 15% attack power. 15% faster, yeah, walking speed, or running speed, or however you can call this cool animation, dude. Yeah, but that will actually turn down the X-Throwers hit and run completely and make them more or less even more useless. So, I don't know how that will go down. I played the X-Thrower more and more a few times in the beta, so I could try them out. I even tried it out to upgrade them one time, quite hard. I could just try that out against AI, that's quite a little bit sadly, but with full upgrades I managed to get a quite good attack on them. With the range back on them, yeah, they were able to kill a berserker in not too many hits. It were like 5 or 6 that I had, and yeah, I did like the hit and run thing. It worked pretty good, but you gotta know it were just the berserker, and a real player will always just get a few shield bearers out, and if your X-Throwers are going to be such a pain, they're just gonna upgrade their shield bearers, and then bye bye X-Throwers. Your mate can still go for a few warriors, so you can not only tank the damage of the X-Throwers, you can now then just kill them easily by just charging at him and getting him down, and hit and run not a thing anymore. They will be gone very soon. Yeah, it's not like I hate those changes. It's just like you can't feel like there's no answer anymore if your opponent goes mass shield bearers. You won't feel like the warriors will be the good answer to it. If your opponent goes mass warriors, yeah, you can go mass shield bearers. It now more seems like a ladder to me, like a rock paper scissors. Like, I really enjoy to play. Like, it works in a lot of games. You always have an answer to anything. You just have to react. I tend to like that really a lot, but if that's not the idea, I'm totally okay with that. I can play like that. I just think like the shield bearers will get more and more play in the next time if it's just going to stay like that. Yeah. Military unit modifications. Berserker health has been reduced by 30% and its defense has been increased by 30%. This won't change anything in the balance of the game. This modification only objective is to make the code smoother. Well, I bet that code looks smooth, man. Yeah, no, that's totally okay. I imagine it will help if they want to do later changes to the game, even. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Let's go on to the Shield Maiden's defense has been increased by 7%. Okay. So Shield Maiden got even better. I don't have the Shield Maiden's stats like up in my head right now, but yeah. I think that could even make the Beer Clan a little bit too strong right now, but I don't really play them too much. I can't say how it is. If someone plays the bear who really plays the bear really good, I think he could have a good time right now. Because of the next change too, it's like the armored bear's defense has been raised by 20% and its health by 7%. Yeah, I tend to like bear because I can just go for the bear in the older game. Get for the 50 food, I don't need to build a crane building for that, and I can almost clear all of the tiles around me just with the bear. If it dies, suicide, wait for 50 food, get a new bear. I don't think the 50 food hurt too much right now for me. There wouldn't be needed a real big race to make it worse. I guess 75 would already make me thinking if I don't want to make warriors, and if it won't go up to 100, I think the bear would already be quite dead. Beside of the lore that you get bonus production when it lives, so there would go for 100 food, but so yeah, with the 50 food right now, a really good option. I don't know if bear actually could get a little bit too strong, but we're just gonna see that. The X-Throw's base attack is reduced by 15% and their base range is reduced by 30%. I guess too for the sake of tile dancing. Yeah, base attack reduced by 15%. Yeah, shield bearers still get double of the resistance against them. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, the shield bearer's arrow resist ability is reduced from 50 to 20%. I don't know. I think arrow now just means the one from the tower. So they will be worse for that term, but they will still have a lot of life. That is what I'm thinking about. So they will still be quite good to fight against those towers. You can still double up the resistance against ranged attacks. So yeah, and increase the resistance. So if you upgrade them, they will still be great against towers. I actually ran in with them in some towers with without any upgrades, and I think it worked quite good. Weren't it bad? Weren't like I thought about why do my shield bearers die that fast, but yeah, I thought more about that were the upgraded towers there, because they now really do a lot of damage, man. Mercenaries have been modified, their attack has been increased by 10%, their defense have been reduced by 55%. Sending mercenaries will now summon 4 units 3 before patch. Yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I'm not really a Raven player to say that before. But Raven wins for me dropping an upgraded tower in my main tiles, in my shore tiles, and I think after this patch it got me to just drop a tower in my main tiles because it just got a little bit weaker. And I think like a normal tower does the work right now. It will like almost die, but not likely. And if you pull some villagers in, like mercenaries are stupid. Wow, they are. You just run out of the tile, let them attack the tower, go back at the tile and clear them out with some villagers. Yeah. I don't think they're dangerous. I don't know how it is, if it's really worth like going for... sorry, I just lost track there. Like going for the bonus resources you get for raiding, but yeah, I don't think it's too strong, but I'm not too educated in that sense, so I'm just gonna go back. Wolf attack has been raised by 15%. Yeah, it has been. It hurts! And they're way more aggressive. Way more aggressive. The bear defense have been increased by 20% and itself by 7%. Yeah, just like the bear of the bear clan. Just as strong right now. Yeah, if you want to compare these both bears, they were always like the same, I guess. So I always felt like they are the same because I played against the bot with a bear, against the AI player, and I just needed in the before better just as much warriors to kill the armored bear than the normal bear. Yeah. Quite funny because why it's called armored bear if it's just like a usual bear. Everyone likes a smart ass, doesn't he? Yeah, I'm sorry, I just minded that. Yeah, let's go to the big changes of the Dragoons. Really cool. The health has been raised by 20%. Not that cool, but it's cool. But just it's harder now. Yeah. But the more important thing is there are now 3 different types of Dragoon. Melee Dragoon, just with the sword in the hand. A Spear Dragoon that throws spears, obviously. So ranged Dragoon, no tile dance anymore, even though you can rip it off sometimes. And the Shield Dragoon has 20% resistance against axe throwers and tower arrows. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think the spear thrower Dragoon is really a big change. You can't do any tile dance anymore or try to get low units out. Yeah, the Shield Dragoon looks really cool too. I didn't try to tile dance them or anything, or didn't like got attacked so often from Shield Dragoons that I feel like they are so OP that I just might, if it's a Shield Dragoon on a normal Dragoon that's attacking my tower usually. Yeah, it all looks really good. The changes are quite good, let's say it like that. So I feel like the Drago camps look like way more alive because there are different types of units. Different types of units only bring every time bring a little versatile to that game. Yeah, so it doesn't look every time the same. With a little bit of RNG, you not always have the same like. Sometimes we'll have like 3 spear thrower Dragoons on a tile, maybe, I don't know how it's written. But yeah, like many changes in that term. I like that more units give more versatile. Yeah, and actually I think the spear thrower Dragoon will be the reason why tile dancing now is completely deaf, because player would try to do that still, on their tiles with that delay, because it still works like kind of good, but not that good anymore. But with the spear thrower Jaguar, the tactic just dies because you can't try it anymore. You won't go through there. Yeah, the Valkyries are much stronger now. Their defense has been, attack has been raised by 25%. Their defense has been raised by 33%. Their health has been increased by 15%. Yeah, I gotta say I didn't try to kill them, so I can't quite say, yeah, how I do against them. So I'm not gonna say too much about them. I heard about much of the players. They are quite a pain in the A. Yeah. Don't gonna say too much opinion about what I don't try too much. I just think, okay, it's okay. You wanna do the game much harder? That's a way to do it. Yeah. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. I think it's good. Wood production bonus provided by forest drops from 20 to 10%. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I minded that already. That's quite rough. But makes everything just a little bit slower. Now a second wood camp makes sense. Almost at every time. Yeah. Slows the game down and thing. I think that's a big slowdown patch that was going to come down. You see, like, games will almost double as long. Yeah, I don't think it's like too much of turtling, so it doesn't go like in the end game, so you can't just win with any Kroon win or Fame win or something. Yeah. But the game's got way longer, man. I hope there will be at least a little rush meter, so if there is no rush meter, I can guarantee you that the macro place will get so disgusting, man. Yeah, it's like always the same thing in games. If you don't have any rush meter, the players who just turtle down will perfect their tactics and will get unkillable, and yeah, it's like yeah, you look like the yin and yang in a meter. But yeah, we're just gonna wait it out and see how it happens. If it happens, you can still empower the rush a little bit more, because they were way too strong before, and I think, yeah, right now it should work like that. Let's see how it works in a long time. Killing the dragon now grants 250 fame for every ally in the team. That's cool, because it's really hard to kill that thing, and yeah, getting more for that is always good. Yeah, good change. Young and Proud gear upgrade now have precise description. Ah, yeah, perfect. So that will help a lot. We're always like a little bit slubby. I got it from the Reddit how it actually works, but yeah, not everyone is up here, so if you want to hit it up, just go on the Reddit, dude. Of course, here you can reach developers and stuff if you have like crazy bugs, and you can reach the community if you have questions about the game. He is always someone who wants to help you. Yeah, it is now possible to upgrade a tool if the building of the unit is built, even if there are your units. Ah, thank God, man. That really, sometimes that really got me a little bit pissed. But yeah, thanks a lot, man. That's really good, really thoughtful, helps me a lot. Better reputation of resource surrounding landing site. Yeah, that's actually true. I had that a few times before too. Really good food around that. I can tell I had games where I had just one food tile around my main tile, so it can be other now, but in the main tile and the main thing, you will have more food and more better things. Yeah, the stone and iron mines surrounding the player's landing site will be less difficult to colonize. No bears or dragoon to defend them. Yeah, but 4 wolves actually quite scary too. Yeah, but yeah, it is like that. You have always like something to colonize around you that isn't too hard to colonize, but yeah, not like always. I had some games where I just had to go for the dragon too, but that could always be a little bit because of my playstyle. Players in multiplayer games now won't have more than 3 pauses available, and each of one has 45 seconds time limit. So 3 pauses, 45 seconds, 1 minute 30, 2 minutes 15. Yeah, that's a quite good pause to get back into the game, or let your mate get back into the game. I think that's okay. That's a good change. No player can troll you anymore with pausing. Good change, good idea. Scouts are not allowed to scout the enemy territory, another player or AI, unless the scout camp is upgraded. Slows the game down even more. Yeah, so many things that slow down the game so hard. Yeah, right now it's working really good. I can't just say that again, but these are so many upgrades. Yeah, it could be that little turtle. Yeah, I will not say like it's impossible that happens, because yeah, no yin yang anymore. Just macro. Macro is a little bit stronger right now, and players tend to go for it. But not turtle right now, but the turtle tactics will come, man. Yeah, bug fixing. 2 players should not to be able to spawn next to one another. Yeah, I think that should be sure. I saw that picture on the Reddit. Yeah, they react to that really good. The repair of a watchtower stops when it is attacked, but not when enemy units enter the area. So that means you can just repair it if the units are in your area. Yeah, that can be quite scary if you're like far away and you just start repairing that and you wanna skip it. Yeah, but I think if you want to skip it, you should have been just right next to the tower. It's a little bit scary how fast it repairs right now and how strong they got, but yeah, that's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Achievements issues should now be fixed. I didn't have any issues, so I can't say anything about that. Yeah, so I'm gonna go to the little form that I gave out to the beta testers, and I'm just gonna fill it out with you, see what we can find over here. Tile dancing. Did you manage to tile dance? Do you think the 0-8 countdown is enough? Yeah. Yes, I did. But yes, I do. Yeah, so it's still possible, but yeah, I think it will not be like exploited like so much like it did in the days before. Yeah, it got all a little bit clearer, so a little bit slower. I tend to enjoy it, but yeah, I think it's enough. It will be enough. People won't tile dance too much anymore. You will still see some tile dancing going on with the 0.8 seconds, but if it goes too high after that, I can't quite say how it changed in other fights, because you basically get a free attack as a defender right now, and if you get it up to 1 second, I guess you can get 2. So yeah, I think keeping it like that will be good. Do you think the combat are clearer than before? Yes, the circles and life bars helped a lot. No, I still don't understand anything. Let's say something in the middle. But in big fights, I still struggle. And the game seems to be going more and more to big fights, because like in the rush meter you had more like fights going on that are quite early. Your enemy had to answer with another rush, so you had like a war chief and 4 extras fighting against like a berserker and 4 extras. So like that isn't really realistic, but yeah. Now the fights will get much bigger because of the macro games, and yeah, you will get more crazy, man. Will get more crazy in the fights. The unit group multiple selection. Do you like the way it's selection? Yup. Really great. Really great. Really good work. I enjoyed it a lot. Not too much to say about that. It's only cool. Yeah. Yeah, nothing to rant about that. Why would I? So let's just say yes, looks clear to me, and go on to the next thing. Watchtower buff. Do you think the changes were a good thing? Yeah. Towers were too weak, but like there were so many defensive buffs. I don't really understand why the tower got buffed too. But yeah, the tower needed a buff, so I'm just gonna stay on yeah here, because the tower really needed a buff. But like I think that maybe they overwhelmed the best little bit with the defensive upgrades, maybe. I can't quite say that. I can just say in the games that I just played, I really enjoyed them a lot. No one was turtling, no one was trying that out, but I think that were like a bulk of players that don't want to do such things too much to another. But yeah, I tried to do some things of that. And I can say you that starvation is still a thing. So just going for full marketplaces and buying your food all the time, you can still do that. And this in combination with such a strong macro play, and yeah, your enemies rush just getting so weakened, I guess the starvation thing will soon be totally be exploited. You will see some build where you just don't know with what clan, but you will go for this full starvation and maybe even have the crones ready. Like got so many crones before your enemy had any chance to reach you. But we can just see that. Unit upgrade modification. Do you think the new military upgrade through the 2 panel is a good thing? Yes, I like it. The warrior. Do you think the changes made on the warrior, especially the charging ability, are useful? Useful in what term? Like, if you want to make the warrior a counter to the extra, yeah, it were very useful to make it a counter to the extra. But if you want to make a warrior like something else, if you want to make it a rock paper scissors system, wouldn't be too helpful, because now we have 2 units that are quite good against X-Throws. We have the X-Throws that are actually bye-bye. They got a little bit stronger, I guess, the X-Throws. If you're gonna upgrade them and everything, yeah, it's okay to play with them, but yeah. I'm quite struggling with that answer about here. Yeah. Yeah. If it should be against X-Throwers, then yeah. Yeah, let's just say it's like that. Yeah, mercenaries. Do they like their rework? +1 mercenaries. Not really. Seems still not worth for me. What is your global feeling about the new environment? Way more difficult. So yeah, basically what I said. It's way more difficult, but still lots of fun. Yeah. So let's see that. Yeah, new environment just makes the play more alive. You have way more to do. It's not like always doing the same thing. It's gonna start on the music the last time because I need to cut out this video. It's really getting way too long. Yeah, new environment makes the game play feel way more difficult. It makes way more feel like in my first days of Northgard, like everything was a little bit harder. But yeah, still a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. How about the clan balancing? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there's too much balancing in there right now, yeah. You can't play every clan against every clan, I guess, but some clans will still have their obvious advantages. I'm just gonna say bear should be better than goat. And I don't know, I feel like the stack feels more strong to me. I know much players will say, nope, I don't think so. But the stack feels right now a little bit stronger to me than wolf. Because of the macro build, and you can now just go for your Hall of Skulls spam and get a lot of villagers out without even any paying too much crowns for it. You will not need to go to for a too hard crown production. You can just focus on that many villagers, and I think that play can get a thing because you can't get attacked anymore so early, so the stack macro play gets alive right now, I think. But yeah, just gonna see that. Then comes the wolf, and like Raven, still very weak, no real bonuses. It's not like it is unplayable, it's still playable, but yeah, I think between Raven and Bear there's quite a spread, but like between these four clans, it's not your clan change will make you win the game. No. Do you have other things to notice? Do I have other things to notice? Where there's something special? No, not really. Yeah, so I'm just gonna write thanks for having me. Because I don't have actually any other things to notice right now. What I have, like, I always have this little sheepfold thing, but I'm just testing it out if it's just running on my computer, and if it isn't just on my computer, I will do a Reddit post about that, because I think it's just like a misunderstanding of my game that the sheepfold cannot be built on that particular position, and I click and it doesn't build, but just because it just couldn't build there. So yeah, so that were my all over beta review. I hope you enjoyed that. It got a little bit long, man. Yeah, didn't want it to bore you out in that term. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something about the beta here. I'm just gonna send that out. Yeah. So, great beta changes. We're gonna see how it plays out. The game got a lot more interesting right now. I hope that it doesn't get into a total turtle war. If we get onto that point, I think Shiro will realize that we'll need a little bit stronger Rush clan just to make the macro players worry a little bit and not go like on full madman eco, you know what I mean? I think the environment can help a lot with that too. That's why I think right now there's no such turtling going on. But as the players play into the beta, they will get better and better, and yeah, they will learn to play with the environment, and then just not be scared of the environment anymore. And the player can't scare you anymore in the first years, so who cares about them? Just do your thing there, and yeah, let's see. I tried out some rush plays. They usually came in like 1 year later, and that yeah, your opponent will be 1 year more far in his macro play, and that usually resolves in your rush dying. So yeah, not too bad there. You can do other plays. They're working quite good. So it's kind of aggressive plays with an eco behind it. That worked right now, but I don't know if it works if the other players go for full defensive, because you have now to hack through all the map to get to them. I got quite a lot of crazy spawns. I just remember I didn't told that. Like the map got in half by cliffs, and I couldn't go through there, and I needed to go through the dragon or through the Jötnar. I had that in 2 or 3 1v1 games right now. I think that's quite crazy. If that's really like in the code that it's going to be like that right now, yeah, then the macro games will come, dude. I can tell you. If that's intended, then we will have like a impossible macro, greedy macro meta. But yeah, so I really gotta go to school right now. I hope you enjoyed this. See you in the next one. Yeah, bye bye everyone. I'm just gonna upload this right now. So I guess see you right there. Okay, bye bye everyone. Ciao.